You guys, I think I just made the cutest Easter craft on the face of the earth, and it was so easy and it's so adorable. I'm so happy with the way that it turned out, and I need to make another one for my other daughter. So I thought I'm gonna hop on here and do this in real time and show you how I made it, because I feel like everyone needs to do this. It is so cute and so easy and so practical. So let's just do it. Okay, so basically this idea, you know when you're like half asleep and all of a sudden an idea comes to you at the worst time and you're just like, oh my gosh, that is such a good idea. So literally that happened to me the other night when I was falling asleep. I woke up in the morning and I hunted down some empty egg cartons in our recycling bin, and I ran to the store to go find some cutesy Easter napkins. And then I kind of just let these inform my style decision and my color choices. So we'll get to that in a second, but basically all you're gonna need is an empty egg carton, some paintbrushes of different sizes, and whatever colors of paint you want to use. So for this one, I used blue. This one I'm gonna do, I think, in this like rose pink color. This is just a cheap acrylic paint from Michael's. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can even get acrylic paint from the dollar store. Like, don't overthink this. It doesn't have to be crazy. And napkins and Mod Podge. And for the record, I'm going to show you the steps, but I'm also gonna speed through this pretty quickly because a lot of it is just like the time it takes to paint an egg carton, which I feel like doesn't need that much explanation. It's time to paint it white. Okay, this is all painted white and it's drying. So I did basically the whole outside and none of the inside. I didn't bother going like deep down into the holes because who cares? Nobody really will ever notice that. So while this is drying, I'm going to start some prep on the other stuff, which is cutting out all the little elements I want to stick on the front of my carton. So I debated making my second daughter's totally different than my first daughter's. The problem is my second daughter, Brooke, is obsessed with bunnies, and I just think this one looks so cute. So now I'm actually thinking I might just do the exact same thing again and make hers pink instead. And then maybe that will even give them less reason to ever fight over them. So anyway, while that's drying, I want to talk you through how we're gonna do this. So with napkins, this is just like the best thing I think I learned in 2025. And that is you can just use napkins to decorate anything. So what you do is you peel off the first layer. This has 3 layers. So we want to just get the one with the image on it peeled right off and put the extra aside. So now I have just the top layer with the image on it, and I'm gonna cut out the bunny. That's a piece, but it still needs more flowers. I also really shouldn't be doing this until it's dry, but if you know me, you know I don't have a ton of patience. Honestly, the hardest part of this project, I think, is just peeling these freaking napkins. There we go. And I think that this white is dry enough. So I'm gonna take these off because we're not quite ready to do that yet. And the next step is actually to paint the inside. For this one, I just cover the whole thing. I did all inside the egg cups, and every bit of this I want to be covered in pink. Okay, this is painted. It is not fully dry, but I've been letting it dry for long enough. So now I'm gonna do the part where I paint the gingham on the sides. So I'm gonna grab my pink again, and I'm actually gonna lighten it a tiny bit with white, because if you'll notice, there are lighter lines, and then where they overlap is darker, and I actually paint that on. So I'm gonna do the lines lighter, then I'm gonna add a little more darkness and do those pieces. So if I make my first step a little bit lighter, it'll be easier to make more after. And I'm using a brush that's kind of square on the end. And then I'm gonna just jump right in. And last time I did this, I felt a little nervous about just jumping right in. But like I said, it's supposed to look handmade and a little kitschy. So I'm just gonna not overthink it. And I'm just jumping in and making my angled lines, trusting myself that it'll all work out. Okay, I've got all my lines painted going in the one direction. And now I'm honestly just going to do the exact same thing in the other direction. Okay, my lines are painted. You'll see they are really, truly not perfect. And that's totally okay with me. So now I'm gonna take the fully dark version of this color, put a tiny bit in my palette, and then I'm just going over to the spots that are overlapping and adding a little more color in there, the darker color. This is like not super crucial. I just find it really adds a little element, like it kind of completes the gingham look. Okay, the painting is complete. Now it's time to do my favorite part, which is the Mod Podge. Okay, so I've got all my pieces cut out. I'm gonna dump some of this onto here. I've got a brush and I'm gonna just jump in and place them on here. So I have my bunny pieces. I'm gonna place them first to make sure I'm happy with them. You know what, I'm gonna move these ones out of the way a bit. I'm gonna stick this guy down and then we'll carry on. It's really bothering me how different the pink is that I painted with versus the pink of the background of the napkin. But I'm gonna go with it because I think it's gonna end up looking cute in the end. We're just gonna trust the process. Let's get these positioned a little bit. I find Mod Podge always feels scary at the beginning because you can see it, but it'll dry clear, I promise. And some people get stressed out about the wrinkles, but I find, especially on this project, because it's got like texture on the box, it ends up just looking really cute and intentional. Okay, and then we're gonna need some pink here. I think that one looks cute. Okay, now we gotta get the Easter basket and the eggs on. Yeah, that's cute. Let's just do it. I'm gonna stick it down before I keep overthinking. When in doubt, just go for it. Don't leave time to regret it. There we go. Mod Podge complete. I love the way that the ear overlaps onto the edge. I think that just looks so cute. So now I'm gonna go back to my darker pink color. And now I'm gonna paint the final border just to tie everything together, just running along the edge here. Can paint right over the napkin and the Mod Podge. And I'm bringing it in behind where the Mod Podge is, if there's any edges that would be behind it, but I'm not going over top of it. So I want it to look like that ear is like the top thing. So yeah, I'm feeling a little not in love with the way the pinks are mixing. I wonder if you guys watching it feel the same. Let me know in the comments, or if you think it looks cute. I'm here for the real brutal truth. If you think I should have matched the pink, changed the color straight out of the tube, and like matched it to the way that the napkin looks. To be honest, I was going with the pink that's like in the bunny's ears, and it is more of a purpley pink, but now that I see it with the actual pink, like bright pink parts, I feel like it looks a little off. The good news is, if I really end up not liking it, I can make another one and I can change the color, and it won't affect your experience with this tutorial because your napkins are going to be different than mine, whatever you choose to work with, and also the process would be the exact same if I change the color. Choose your colors wisely, but I think overall it ends up looking really adorable anyway. Okay, there we go. And now for the last finishing touch, we need to put in her name. And to do that, I have a little tiny brush that I use. And I also am going to really, really gently test it out in pencil first. If anybody's brand new to my channel and just finding me for this, A, welcome, but B, please also know that calligraphy is my specialty. And so if you're seeing me do this and you're like, oh my God, how do you just freehand a name like that? It's because this is what I do. So if you need help with the writing part, do this in pencil as many times as you need to, first of all. But also, I have so many tutorials on my channel about calligraphy, and I feel like it would be helpful to watch before adding your name on. But you can also just do this in block letters or in any kind of cursive writing, whatever you feel comfortable with. So I'm actually happy with that placement, I think. Might make the B a little bit bigger. Okay, it's feeling cuter now with some letters on here. I think I might end up liking it more than I thought. Okay, there it is. Not my best lettering ever, not my best creation ever. To be honest, way more in love with the blue one, but when I see them together, look how cute. Okay, I'm pretty obsessed. I've already put eggs in this one. I need to do the same for the second one. But like, come on. They're so adorable. I honestly think that I might even take it one step further and do some more Mod Podge inside of just like some of the little eggs and, you know, stuff like this maybe. I might just add a little bit more inside, but TBD, it actually is pretty cute even with nothing. I'm thrilled. They're so cute. So I hope this was as fun for you as it was for me. If you create them, please show me, because I would love to see how these look with different napkins and different color schemes and all that good stuff. Please tag me on Instagram at @TheHappyEverCrafter. I'm gonna link you to another video next that I think you're gonna like, another Easter themed one. And yeah, if you haven't yet, make sure you hit subscribe, because I'm here every single week with a new tutorial. And I hope I see you in another one.